Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. I was checking out the video right here that the desert farmer here has put out, desert prepper has put out, and it's got some really good information. And I'll make sure I leave the link to the video in the description box so you guys can check it out. Talk about the things that are happening. My man here is wearing his Jesus shirt, and but like I said, hey, he's bringing out some good information. He's bringing out some truth. You know, they're not bringing it all the way out, but they're realizing that many of the things that they have been told over the course of history is not true. They are realizing that America as a nation has portrayed itself falsely. And, you know, they're slowly, they always say they love their country. And I get you. Hey, I get you. The country has given you guys many privileges. But as they come up with, they start to see this truth playing out, and that, you know, America hasn't always told the truth. America has always kind of portrayed themselves in such a positive light. But they're realizing now that that has not been true, and that there's going to be consequences to that. And this little short segment I'm going to show you guys, dude here actually brings out a lot of truth talking about America. And, you know, hey, they just need a little help with knowing the why and how long this has been going on. You know, you just can't look at the last couple of wars and the last couple of, you know, instances of a conflict and think that that's all there is. There's a lot more than just that. So let's check it out really quick.
Inside the Russian government. I'm just getting my news a little bit ahead of you guys, and giving it to you. But it could be hours or it could be days or weeks. Uh, I don't know, folks. We'll have to see. But we do know that Turkey has let two of the destroyers, U.S. destroyers, going through the Bosphorus Straits into the Black Sea, and they should be there in about 5 days. So we'll have to see what happens, with that. But I did post a video of another guy. He's a pretty big YouTube channel. I think he's got like 130,000 of subscribers, and he was saying that this war is on. It's just a matter of hours or days before it starts. And he thinks that if the United States does get involved in this war, that we're going to see some repercussions back here in the United States. Now, I've been saying that I think they're maybe going nuclear. They have a video of Vladimir Putin back in 2014 after they took over Crimea, and he said on this video, he said that he was ready to use nuclear weapons if NATO or United States got involved to prevent them from taking Crimea back. I mean, you can. I guess I need to go ahead and post that video so you can watch it. But it's a very alarming video. See, everybody thought Hillary Clinton was going to be president, not Donald Trump. So Joe Biden and the Democrats and Barack Obama and all those deep state people, they had to postpone this war for 4 years until Joe Biden or another Democrat got in office. So it hasn't taken Joe Biden and the Democratic administration very long to get this war going again that they would have already had going if Hillary Clinton would have been president.
Now, you know, they kind of get into the whole thing with the Democrats and all that stuff. But hey, we're going to start getting to some of the good stuff right now.
And Vladimir Putin also made a speech after Trump got elected. He said if Hillary Clinton would have become president, we would have already been in World War III. We would already been in a nuclear winter with the World War III. That's what he said. You can look these videos up yourself. So when Donald Trump was elected, that gave us 4 more years of peace. I told people that they gave us 4 more years to get ready, 4 years of peace to prepare.
Well, and we know that it's all about the 400 years. We know it's about the culmination of the 400 years, and that's what these people were all missing. So they're talking about, well, this person didn't get in and this person didn't get in, so therefore we had a little bit more time to prepare. It was all about the Most High and the end of our 400 years, and how the last year of Trump was that extra year, when they pretty much stopped it at 2.5 years of the 7-year tribulation period and gave them 1 year in order for them to, go through the start of the plague, get a chance to, actually see what's been happening to the Most High's chosen people. That's all the stuff was going on with George Floyd, and you had all the things going on in the summer, all the protests and everything else. But they're not seeing that, and that's okay. Like I said, he's going to bring up some good information shortly about America and what it's really been doing for the last few years. But all of that is all to the culmination of the 400 years and the pulling up of the skirt of Babylon.
For what was coming. And lo and behold, Joe Biden gets into the presidency. He hasn't been there 6 months, folks. And yet now he's going to get World War III started because they can't stand Russia. They hate Russia. They want this war so they can get on with their new world order or whatever they want to do, great reset. They want to set the world on ablaze because then they can fulfill their order out of chaos. Remember that phrase, order out of chaos, the Illuminati?
And see, it's the Most High that's setting up the Great Reset. It's not man. Man is not setting up a Great Reset. Esau and the Gentiles is not setting up a Great Reset. It's the Most High that's getting a reset in order to give everything back to His chosen people, to return everything to His people, to return the blessings from the Gentiles back to the Hebrews. That's what this Great Reset is all about. And the fact that the Most High is making us now, start to think about the business aspect and getting us prepared to receive the blessings once again shows you how close we are. But see, without knowing the Hebrews and without knowing our plight and not knowing what's going on as far as prophecy is concerned, yeah, they might see the light at the end of the tunnel, but they don't understand how everything got started in the first place.
Illuminati phrase, what they use all the time, you have to create chaos before you can restore order. So that's what they're in the midst of doing in Russia.
And that's the Most High. He's the one that's creating the chaos in order to restore order.
Russia has no choice. America, we talk a lot about in our press and in our news media about how America is for democracy and how America stands up for the little guy and how America, is there to help nations defend against bullies. But we're the biggest bully on the block, folks.
There we go. Truth. Spirit goes into the Gentiles as well, and they are actually talking truth now, admitting the fact that America is the biggest bully on the block. How many times do you hear that before? Almost never. Well, they would say it like, in their proud way about how they can go in and take over whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. Just like the same things right now with masks. It's not about the mask. It's about the fact that their rights are being taken away. And that was what that whole prophecy was with the $20 bill and the mask and showing how their freedoms have been taken away and the significance of that. And that's what they're having the hardest time with, actually knowing that their freedoms, their blessing, has been taken away. Now let's continue. He's going to break down some history now, and it's going to be nothing but truth coming out of this man's mouth right now.
We invade a country, and it's okay when we do it. We just make that an excuse. Remember Iraq and Saddam Hussein when Colin Powell and everybody was telling the world that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, And Saddam Hussein, he kept coming on TV, says, we don't have any weapons of mass destruction. So we invaded Iraq, destroyed their country, killed over 1 million people, irradiated the country with our radioactive munitions. And then they found out that Saddam Hussein didn't have any weapons of mass destruction after their country was obliterated. And then we went into Libya because Libya wanted to go off the dollar and wanted to trade their oil with gold coins, and we couldn't have that. So we made up some kind of excuse. Hillary Clinton with NATO bombed the hell out of Libya, got Gaddafi killed. Ambassador Stevens, remember that? Remember Ambassador Stevens and the U.S. Embassy in Libya, where they went in there and they killed everybody and raped the ambassador? And what did Hillary Clinton say? Oh, what the hell does it have to do with anything now? They're already dead. So, our country talks about standing up for the little guy, but we go into any country we want and do anything when these countries were not threatening the United States. Libya was not threatening the United States. Saddam Hussein had no weapons or air force or navy that could invade the United States. Syria, when we sent in ISIS and Al Qaeda, Syria had no way of hurting us over here.
Like I said, he's speaking truth. But see, they're only looking at what's happened right now. They're not looking at how they've done this since they stepped foot in the Americas in 1492. All of these things have to be paid for, not just the recent wars and the recent conflicts, but the ones that have been happening for the last 400 to 500 years. And that's where they're not making those connections. Those were not forgotten. Those conflicts, the destroying of the Most High's chosen people, the rape, rob, and murder of our people, the stealing of our resources, the stealing of our identity, all those things need to be paid for. So what he's saying is true about the events going on right now. But the Most High is going all the way back, and he's been keeping track as soon as they stepped foot on our lands. Let's continue.
The only country that could hurt us was Iran, and we didn't do anything about Iran because Obama and Hillary Clinton and the Democratic leadership were in bed with the Iranians, with the Muslim Brotherhood. That's why we didn't do anything about Iran. So now we're talking about Russia. Russia's the aggressor. Look what Russia's doing. But yet we are on Russia's border. We have Russia surrounded with NATO troops in Poland, Lithuania, Germany, all right on Russia's border. So how is Russia threatening the United States? Does Russia have millions or hundreds of thousands of troops in Canada? Do they have hundreds of thousands of troops in Mexico, in the Bahamas, in Cuba? No, but we have troops right on the Russian border, but Russia is the aggressor. So I'm just trying to give you some truth here.
And this is true. He's trying to give the people some truth. So see, the thing is this now, is that the Most High is making them move against a country like Russia. Well, Russia's not a third world country. There will definitely, if there's going to be a conflict, there's going to be some problems with Russia. Russia is very technologically advanced. And you got to think of it just like how it worked out before with when we were in Babylon and we were, enslaved in Babylon. The Most High used the Persians and Medes to come in and free us. Most High is going to do the same thing. And see, the Americans, hey, they're used to going into wars, with an inferior opponent. Well, the Most High is changing that right now. And these Americans now hey, they're nervous because they know it's not like usual when they're going in with countries that don't have a military, don't have an air force, don't have this, don't have that. See, but this is all part of the 400-year prophecy. This is all part of Genesis 15:13 about when we served our time, the Most High is going to move on the ones that have afflicted us. They still think they're in their blessing, and they're not. That's why they were able to do all these things because they were still in the last legs of their blessing. Their blessing is taken away from them. They just haven't gotten the memo yet. Check out a couple more things he's going to say here.
I love America and I'm a patriot, and I think this is the greatest country in the world. But our government, for some reason, wants to destroy Russia, and we have for the last 20 or 30 years. When we're supposedly spreading democracy and goodness and truth, but yet then you have Mike Pompeo. Remember Mike Pompeo, the defense secretary? They interviewed him on TV, and he said at the CIA they teach him how to lie, cheat, and steal, and he laughed about it. I don't know how many people saw that interview with Mike Pompeo, and he said with his own mouth, yes, we teach them how to lie, cheat, and steal. So that is what our great country is about: lying, cheating, and stealing, and breaking treaties. And if you don't do what we say, then we crush you with our iron hammer.
Any more questions? He just pretty much explained America to the T. And the thing is that they are only looking at what's happening now, the recent events. They're not even talking about how they've been doing these things for hundreds and hundreds of years. And they never talk about having to pay for this, this mess. But he just pretty much admitted it right there. Everything. Breaking treaties, lying, taking whatever it is they want. That's exactly what's been the history of America. Like I said, that's what the Spirit is using. The Spirit is using other people, Gentiles as well, to tell them the truth. And what's the alternative? See, that's the alternative. The alternative is following. The only alternative areas right now is to follow the ways of the Most High, cleave to the Most High's chosen people. That doesn't mean come over here and try to teach us how things are going. No, that's not going to work out like that. We don't need your opinions. You're just to cleave and then keep your mouth shut. Do the will of the Most High, but don't think you're going to come over here and then try to preach and teach us. You guys have had those opportunities for 400 to 500 years to tell the truth. There's a little bit more.
Everybody heard of the great Roman Empire, right? The Roman Empire that ruled the world for 400 years. The mighty Roman Empire, the mighty Roman legions out of Rome, the Caesars. Everybody remembers that, right? That's read a history book. Well, we are the Roman Empire, folks. United States is the revived Roman Empire. We are the muscle behind Rome, the Jesuits, the Vatican, the United States military. We have over 800 bases worldwide, folks.
Like I said, did you need any more proof? We've been saying the same thing. Most High is now putting it on these Gentiles to say the same thing as well. The revived Roman Empire, the muscle behind the Jesuits or the priests of Mahan. That's what America's been. Britain has been the banking wing, the money. America's been the muscle. And the church, priests of Mahan, the Catholic Church, has been the whole, religious wing, as we've been saying this whole time. Now it's like, hey, now that you guys are admitting it, now how do you make it right? How are you going to make it right? What's the Most High's plan on how you're going to make it right? Now that we have it all out of the way about who's who and what's what, now it's about how is you're going to have to pay for what's been going on to the Most High's chosen people for 400 to 500 years. See, that's where they stop. But he's admitting quite a bit of truth right here.
We have military bases in almost every country of the world. We have a $750 billion defense budget just to keep our military going a year. We are the Roman Empire, revived Roman Empire that the Bible talks about in the end days.
And he talked about earlier how it's been 400 years, that Roman Empire for 400 years. Same thing. History repeating itself. You guys came over, you guys were the legs in the statue in the dream in Babylon, and then you became the feet of clay. The steel and clay mixed together when you came over here to the Americas. See, all this is all coming out now, and it's all making perfect sense when you have eyes to see and the ears to hear.
but our time is coming to an end because of the arrogance, of people that just think that that we are an empire. So I just
Their time is coming to an end, and they're admitting it right here. So you can't just talk about what's been going on since 1776. You got to go all the way back to 1492 and the time before that when the Renaissance period was going on, and you were taking our lands over there and Britain and Ireland as well. But like I said, he's admitting a lot of truth here. Most High is using him to bring out a lot of truth to a lot of people. And now they're seeing, the end because now they're seeing that other countries are now being raised up to go against, the will of America. And like I said, he's admitting they've come to the end. That 400 years is up. But they don't look into their Bibles to see what else is going on. Who's been going through, 400 plus years of slavery, of captivity. They don't make those connections, but that's okay. Like I said, that's not for them. That's our job.
just wanted to put that in there, trying to clarify a little things that no matter what happens, in this upcoming war, they will blame Russia 100%. The news media is going to put full blame on Russia 100%.
And hey, is that anything new? Of course not. But what I wanted to go over with you was, hey, many of the things he just said, absolutely true. But it's all part of the prophecy that the Most High has set up. It's all part of the story, the storyline of the Most High. We were going to go through the 400 to 500 years of destruction. We were going to be awakened in the land of our captivities. We were going to have our hearts softened. We're going to have our ears unplugged, our eyes cleared so that we can see the truth. The priests of Mahan were going to make everything nice and cheap and easy. So, as they went through their year to be able to have their eyes opened in order to see the truth, they were going to, and now, like now, go back to, hey, we're back to normal. Everything's back to normal. Don't worry about anything. We're back to normal. And as they hide information, they hide the opportunity for the Gentiles to see the truth and to cleave to the Most High's chosen people in order for them to be able to receive some kind of mercy. But then the Most High is going to wake up some Gentiles and use them to give out truth, to pass out this truth, to share this truth. They won't get it all because, like I said, we get our pieces. But then the Most High's chosen people will be able to make the connections, make those connections for our people as well as the chosen Gentiles that are able to see this truth. So then they'll have their opportunity to cleave to the Most High and to His people when they realize the history that they've been taught has been nothing but lies. When they realize that this is the revived Roman Empire that was taken down before, and the Most High will take them down once again. This is the time where the Most High is about to sweep them off of our lands, and He's about to revive our lands for the Most High's chosen people. If you need to know where that's at, read that in Joel chapter 2. Always also feel free to please go back and look at previous videos. We got plenty of information. We got plenty of information, and we got plenty of facts to back up what we say. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.